So today we are in DC. We're gonna go ahead and rent water boat. I'll bring you guys along, and if we hear music, nothing I can do because you have music in the background. So we'll go ahead and rent the water taxi, and I'll bring you guys along. Okay? Look at the small garden here, restaurant. Hours. How long would it be? How long?
45 minutes.
Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah, I'm in there. Thank you. We are leaving now.
Georgetown University, which is the oldest Roman Catholic university in America. A large building with the steeples and Keeley Hall, named for Patrick Keeley, a Jesuit priest who became the president of Georgetown University in 1873. Keeley was the first African American head of a white university.
That's great, guys.
To the left, you'll find the embassies of Sweden and Iceland. You'll also find the Boat Center. The Boat Center is a hospitality and racing region. The Boat Center provides rentals of canoes and kayaks and is the home of many high school and college rowing teams. Next to the Boat Center, there's a stream entering the river. That's Rock Creek. It's also the beginning of the C&O Canal, the Chesapeake and Ohio. The canal follows the Potomac River for 184.5 miles from Washington, D.C. to Cumberland, Maryland. The canal operated from 1828 to 1924 as a transportation route, primarily hauling coal from western Maryland to the port of Georgetown in Washington. You'll also see a broken wooden gate at the entrance of the stream. This is the water gate. This marks the terminus of the C&O Canal. This is also where the large complex to the left got its name. Watergate Complex is a multi-use facility comprised of retail, residential, and commercial buildings. The Watergate Complex was the site of the 1972 Watergate scandal that led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon, the only president to have resigned from office. The strip of land over to the right is Roosevelt Island, named for President Theodore Roosevelt. This is a 91-acre wildlife preserve. When Captain John Smith first saw the island in 1608, there were Native Americans living there. The last Native Americans were seen on the island in 1711. Roosevelt Island was included in the original land grant to Lord Baltimore in 1632. Baltimore's rent for the island was 2 Native American arrows to be paid each Easter. In 1861, the island became a barracks for Northern troops, including some of the first African American troops in the Army. It was later sold to the Washington Gas Company, who then sold it to the Roosevelt Memorial Association. In 1967, a monument was constructed consisting of a 19-foot statue of Roosevelt, a plaza, fountains, and a granite tablet inscribed with Roosevelt's famous quotes on statehood, citizenship, and conservation. Over to the left, you'll find the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. And in 1971, the Kennedy Center is both our national cultural facility and a living memorial to President John F. Kennedy. Set on 17 acres, the $73 million center contains 6 theaters. Throughout the center, you'll see gifts from many nations, including all the marble, which was a gift from Italy, the chandeliers, which were a gift from Sweden, and the silk curtains, which were a gift from China. You'll see 2 sets of statues. The first set symbolizes peace, one is for music, the other for the arts. The other set represents war, one for valor, the other for sacrifice. Both sets of statues are gifts from Italy and are 14-karat gold plated. In between the statues, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial. Planned as early as 1867, the Lincoln Memorial wasn't completed until 1922. It was built to model the parking lot in Greece. Inside the 100-foot memorial, you'll find a 19 by 19-foot statue of Lincoln engraved in his limestone walls on his second inaugural address, as well as his Gettysburg boots. The steps at the base of the memorial are also called the Water Gate, as they were intended to be the gateway to the city to the dignitaries when they arrived here by water. However, they were very seldom used here. The Water Gate steps still serve as seats for the National Symphony Orchestra Summer Concert Series for 30 years. The orchestra floated atop a specially made 75-foot barge filled with band shows. On the other side of the main memorial, you'll find the reflection, as well as numerous other memorials, including the Vietnam War Memorial, the Civil War Memorial, and the World War II Memorial. The United States Marine Corps War Memorial. You see the statue of the Marines raising the flag on Mount Suribachi during the Battle of Iwo Jima in World War II, and is the world's largest bronze statue. Is the Arlington Memorial Bridge and symbolically links the north with the south. Built in 1932, it was a drawbridge at one time and connects Washington with Arlington National Cemetery. To the right, on top of the hill between the trees, you'll see a mansion. That's the Arlington House, commonly known as Custis Lee Mansion. The mansion was the home of Robert E. Lee for 35 years prior to the Civil War. During the Civil War, the property was seized by the Union and used as a campground, with the mansion serving as the headquarters. In 1864, Arlington was declared a military cemetery, with the Confederate soldier being the first laid to rest. The cemetery is the final resting place for more than 400,000 service members, veterans, and their families. Service to country is the common thread that binds all who are honored and remembered them. Presidents John F. Kennedy and William Taft, as well as Pierre Laurent, the designer of the Federal City, are among those laid to rest here. This is also the location of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, guarded 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, by the 3rd Infantry Regiment of the United States Army. The small statue over to the left is the Ericsson statue. John Ericsson was a Swedish-born naval architect who invented the propeller and built the Union ironclad warships during the Civil War. Over to the left is the Washington Monument, the world's tallest masonry structure. It stands 555 feet and 5 1/8 inches high. Also notice about a quarter of the way up, the monument is two different colors. The construction of the monument was begun in 1848 and was interrupted during the Civil War. It was completed 36 years later and wasn't open to the public until 1888, 4 years after its final completion. The cost in 1884 was $1.2 million, or nearly $35 million today. When the monument was open to the public, there was a steam-powered elevator that was noisy and took 20 minutes to reach the observation level. Only men were permitted to ride the elevator. View of the White House and the trees between the memorial and the White House have been removed. President Franklin Roosevelt wanted the memorial arranged in this manner, so the past president would be watching over the Oval Office when the incoming president was elected to office. The Jefferson Memorial sits on a body of water known as the Tidal Basin. This is also where you can find the National Cherry Blossom Festival held in spring. Cherry trees were a gift from the mayor of Potomac in 1912 to celebrate our growing friendship. Also found along the Tidal Basin are the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, Franklin Delano Roosevelt Memorial, and the George Mason Memorial. On top of the knoll to the right is the Navy Merchant Marine Memorial, which is a tribute to all the U.S. sailors lost at sea. The Pentagon has 17.5 miles of corridors through its 5 rings and 6.5 million square feet of space. The Pentagon is known for more than 20,000 military personnel and civilian workers every day. This massive structure, made of reinforced concrete and based in limestone, was built in a mere 18 months. On September 11, 2001, the Pentagon was the target of a terrorist attack. American Airlines Flight 77 was hijacked and deliberately crashed into the Pentagon, killing 100 passengers and on the plane. Is the General Rochambeau Bridge, named for the French general whose army played a decisive role in the siege of York. The third bridge was the site of the 1982 Air Florida plane crash. It was named for Harlan Williams Jr., a passenger on the plane who died saving others from the freezing water. The next bridge is the Fenwick Bridge, which carries a metro across the river. It was named for Senator Charles Fenwick of Virginia. The last bridge, known as Long Bridge, carries a railroad across the river. It was an operating swing bridge at the time and was hit by lightning, which caused a fire, permanently damaging the bearings of the bridge. Tennis courts, a public swimming pool, and several athletic fields. This park is also a popular location for fishing and for cyclists. In the buildings to the left, you can also see the dome of the United States Capitol building, the meeting place of Congress. The Capitol dome is made of 9 million pounds of cast iron and was completed during the Civil War. On a hot day, the dome will shift 3 to 5 inches because of the heat expansion. On top of the dome is the Statue of Freedom, which stands 19.5 feet tall. And also notice all the airplanes flying overhead. Pilots follow the contour of the river right into Reagan National Airport. As we turn, if you look to the right of the airport, you'll see 3 stainless steel arcs against the sky. This is the United States Air Force Memorial, dedicated by President George W. Bush in October 2006. It honors the service of the personnel of the United States Air Force. It depicts the contrails of the Air Force Thunderbirds as he peeled back in a precision bomb first video. we continue south down the river, it will be about a 100-mile trip to the Chesapeake Bay. The Potomac River is 382 miles long and begins its journey at Fairfax Stone in West Virginia. It then continues all the way down to Point Lookout, Maryland. It's fresh water and becomes brackish about 10 miles down the river. The average depth of this area is about 30 feet. The river supports a diversity of wildlife due to its unique characteristics of being both a freshwater river as well as having salt water in its lower extremities due to being a tidal river. Washington, D.C. was originally intended to be 100 square miles, located at the junction of the Potomac and Anacostia rivers. The site chosen for the District of Columbia was quite controversial. The northern states felt that the capital of the nation should be in the north because of the larger populations of those states. The southern states objected to traveling the greater distances. A compromise was reached by moving the capital further south, but naming its main thoroughfare Pennsylvania Avenue after a northern state. We're now headed back to Washington Harbor. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask the crew, and we hope you enjoyed your trip aboard the Nightingale with Capital River Cruises.
We are heading back now. I hope you guys enjoy the tour.